Carrie. Hello! It's a very rainy Friday today. It's quite miserable outside, but here I am. And yesterday, last night, very late, in fact in the early hours of this morning, I did something amazing, and I sent off my my current edit of book 4. I can't tell you how relieved I was to send it. Actually, I was a little bit delirious. I was a little bit delirious and laughing at myself as I was pressing the send button. I was extremely tired and exhausted, but it felt so good to be sending it off after weeks and, well, months of really working on it. So what we've been doing is we've been writing in the day and in the evening. So once Buzz goes to sleep, we've been writing then as well. It's been hardcore, really hardcore. I had originally planned to send off the complete first draft on the 1st of December, quite a while ago, but things got quite hectic. Actually, I don't know where that date came from. I think it was just me kind of going, oh, and then I'll be able to do an edit before Christmas and or in January and whatever, but that was my plan. And then things got busy with Lorraine and everything else and being pregnant and stuff, so that didn't happen. But I did send off a huge chunk, like over half of the book, which I felt good about at the end of November. And then I got notes back in December. So instead of continuing to work to the end, I actually went back and solidified my beginning and that whole first half, so that the end would then flow a little bit better, because it's no good just continuing to the end and then having to feed in notes the whole way through. It makes much more sense that way. So in a way, I feel like I am still on track, because I've been doing things I would have been doing now anyway. What is good, I was reading it. I've been reading it the last 2 days and I've been really loving it. I cried a couple of times, a few times actually, which is good, because I know that I'm emotionally invested in the characters because I created them and everything else. But yeah, I think when I know what's happening and what's going on and I'm affected still, it makes me feel like it's working. So fingers crossed my editors feel the same. I sent it off to my 2 editors and my agent last night, and yeah, it was 12:15, and I put a little thing on Twitter about it being like 12:15 AM and I've just sent it off, and well, that feeling. And then I realised that if I'd have written that tweet a few years ago, it would have been like, whoa, it's 4 AM and wow, I'm still up. But 12:15 when you're a mum, that's really late. Really late, because Buzz wakes up at 5. So by the time I went to sleep last night, because I was on quite a high, I probably went to sleep about 1, and then Buzz came into our bed at about 5 and then just did not want to sleep. So yeah, quite shattered today. Quite shattered. But now I have a bit of time for me. I say for me, I'm gonna get prepping for the next baby, because the baby can arrive very soon, and then I'll get packing my hospital bag. And I think I'm gonna do a hospital bag video at some point. You know, what's in my hospital bag. I've never done a what's in my bag one before, but I think what's in my hospital bag is a really good one, because it's really interesting. I think it's interesting anyway. You might disagree, but the one that I really want to do is all about hypnobirthing. So I will be doing a video on hypnobirthing, like I said last week. I said last week that I want to do one. This week I'm saying I'm doing it for next week. I was planning on filming one for today, but I haven't had time, because I've been so focused on the book. I haven't had time to sit and think about it properly, and I do think that when you're dealing with something that's quite a huge idea, really, it's huge and it's not. It's so simple and it's so beautiful, but it is, in the grand scheme of how people view birth and everything, it is a big idea. I think when you're dealing with something so important, that it is worth investing a bit of time and making sure that you're saying the right things. So I just want to make sure that I'm saying the right things, so I'm going to not rush it, and instead you've just got me rambling about the fact that I've handed a book in, and yeah. But I am going to read this week. I'm going to read. I've got 4 books. I'm not going to read 4 books in 1 week, but I thought I would just show you the 4 books that I'm potentially going to read this week. One book I'm going to be dipping in and out of, and it was sent to me by Dog Parks, and it's a collection of short stories written by a load of mummy authors, and it's called Things I Wish I'd Known, Women Tell the Truth About Motherhood. So I think having a bit of humour and a bit of a chuckle in motherhood is very, very important. Humour gets me through the dark days. And then the other 3, they're not out yet. They're not out. This is definitely an author perk. Before books get published, especially debuts, they get sent out to different authors for quotes on books and things like that. So I get sent a few books every now and then. Not always for quotes, but I don't know if you can hear that alarm that's going off. It's quite loud. Anyway, being an author, you get sent a lot of books. But these are all coming out the first half of this year. This is called The Assistants by Camille Perry. Tina is tired of being overworked and underpaid. She's bored of her damp flat and her mounting debts. Then a cheque lands on her desk. Tina's a good person, but she's desperate. This isn't stealing. This is an administrative error, right? What would you do if you thought you'd get away with it? Ooh! And this author is actually the book's editor at large at Cosmo US. Could be a very good book. I'm looking forward to that. Is there more than one person for each of us? Tom Instagrammed. And this is called The Second Love of My Life by Victoria Walters. Tom Instagrammed the picture of this, and I think he was a bit worried. Up until recently, artist Rose Walker was known for lots of things. Her infectious positivity, her unique artistic talent, her second-to-none cookery skills, and of course, her devotion to childhood sweetheart and husband Lucas. But 2 years ago, all of that changed in one unthinkable moment. Now, Rose is known for being a young woman who became a widow at just 24. Can Rose allow herself the chance to love again? Aww. Sounds like an emotional one, that one. And the last one is by a lovely lady who I used to work with at Heat Magazine, and actually is the reason why I started doing some bits for Heat Magazine in the first place, and you know, why I actually ended up writing. And that lovely lady is Isabel Broom. She is now signed to my agent and my editor and my publisher, so we have the same team of people, which is lovely. And this is her debut book, My Map of You by Isabel Broom. Let me read this to you. Holly Wright has had a difficult few years. After her mother's death, she became an expert at keeping people at a distance, including her boyfriend, Robert. But when Holly receives an unexpected letter explaining that an aunt she'd never met has left her a house on a Greek island of, I think it's Zakynthos? I don't know. The walls she has built begin to crumble. Arriving on the island, Holly meets the handsome Aidan and slowly begins to uncover the truth about the secret which tore her family apart. But is the island where Holly really belongs? Or will her real life catch up with her first? That's my reading pile. I'm looking forward to doing some reading rather than being the one writing, or reading and not knowing what's coming. Both fun things. Just having a bit of chill time and doing lots of hypnobirthing, which I shall tell you all about next week. Actually, there'll be 2 videos next week. I should be posting one on Thursday and one on Friday. Friday is my birthday, but I'm giving you a treat next week. How about that? How nice. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I still feel a bit delirious. I still feel a bit a bit foggy from all the work I've been doing lately. My eyes aren't quite focused on anything. I shall speak to you later. Carrie, have a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week, and I'm sending lots of love. Bye.